So the anger coming out from the left because of Scarlett Johansson deciding to pick a role that is a trans man or something in that upcoming movie Rub and Tug, like this enraged them so much they got her to the point that now she pulled out of the movie. And it's funny to me that nobody, like none of the casting directors got that much hate from this mob. Like, it's not up to Scarlett Johansson who stars in the movie, right? She just shows up, she auditions, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna pick you and exclude everybody else. So it's funny that they put so much pressure on her to make her drop out because she had, like, what, the audacity to pick a role for a trans person. Like, really? It's like uh, there's not that many trans actors in Hollywood. Like, I know some people are naming some, like, what about this person and this person in this movie and this and that. Yeah, sure, maybe they have other arrangements, they're in other movies and shows right now, or they're not very good. Like, this is probably the case. Or maybe they may be good, but, you know, people who make movies want to also make a lot of money. So if you just hire a bunch of nobodies in your film that nobody really knows about, not a lot of people are going to come and watch your movie, and you're not going to make a return on your investment. So this is unfortunate. This is just the way things work in reality, that, not everybody is going to get that job. Not everybody's going to get the audition, even if they are the best actor or the best actress in the room. Sometimes your name and your popularity will go a long way. And if, the reason they pay Tom Cruise and Ben Affleck, or whatever, these actors and actresses all this money, is because they know that they give them like $10 million a movie, because they know they're going to make, I don't know, 20 or 30 million, just because they have them in the movie, because these people will bring them into seats, right? Sometimes it doesn't work out. They think an actor is still popular, like they'll invest a bunch of money in, like, Jim Carrey now, and then his movie is a flop, or nobody's going to come see it. So, these people, they have less bargaining power anymore. But somebody like Scarlett Johansson, who is super hot right now and super popular, she is going to get a lot of these roles, even if she doesn't really even look like the person. It's not, it's funny that all these leftists are getting so mad. They're like, oh, this is Hollywood. It's like, they're full of leftists, okay? These people are on your side. For you to just freak out on them like this, and like try to put them in their place like Scarlett Johansson, it's like, you're just going to alienate more people eventually. And over time, you're not going to have anybody who's actually going to support you, because it's like, bullying people to do what you want is not a very sustainable method in the long run. Like, eventually people are going to push back. The only thing you can do with bullies is to push back to make them stop, because Scarlett Johansson, she conceded, she's not doing this anymore. So this is like a win for them. They're like, yes, see, it works. All we need to do is bitch and moan and harass and call and all this shit, and eventually they will step down, because she did the whole apology. It's like, in light of recent ethical questions raised surrounding my casting as Dante Tex Gill, I have decided to respectfully withdraw my participation in the project. So, ethical questions? What ethical questions? Like, is it really an ethical dilemma to go and audition for a movie for somebody that doesn't look like you? Like, people they'll change white characters into black people or Asians, or they'll make them into a woman all the time, and everybody's supposed to be like, oh, okay, you just gotta accept it because it's progressive and all this shit. But if you take a white person and you make them, you put them in like a black person's role, Or you take a straight white person like Scarlett Johansson, you put her in a cis or in a real trans woman's role. It's like they lose their shit. But they would have no issue if it was reversed or nothing. Like, they were saying the same thing. They're like, I don't get cast for movies as straight characters. It's like, yeah, because you look like a tranny. Nobody's gonna believe that you're straight if you got a pair of tits and long hair. You know, nobody's gonna believe it. And what are you gonna just tell people to suspend their belief, their disbelief? It's like just try to imagine I look like a dude during a whole movie, and we'll see how that sells, because ultimately these people in the movie business are driven by profits. This is why you always get you get regurgitated crap all the time. Like you get like a superhero movie every fucking week, and there's no new ideas because they only want to bet on safe things. They're like, okay, well, I know if I do a Marvel movie, I'll make a ton of money, even if it's not that good, right? But so this is why a lot of these massive celebrities, yeah, like Scarlett Johansson, is going to get the role because, like I said, she's going to bring in a lot of seats. So now, if anything, it's like because of your outrage, now a lot of people are probably not going to be working. It's good. They're going to have to suspend the movie. It's going to cost even more money. They're going to have to find a replacement. And now they're going to have a much smaller pool of people to work with. And and what, like, really? And then what? They're not going to pay them that much money, and this is going to be the next controversy. Watch, they're going to hire them and then only give them, like, I don't know, $1 million or something, and then they'll be like, oh, see, I didn't get paid 10 million. Like, sorry, like Scarlett Johansson was going to get paid. What the fuck? This is bullshit. Like, how come I don't get 10 million? It's because you're not worth that much. You're not going to bring that much money. And mark my words, that is what is going to happen if they do hire one. And, they probably just won't even go through with the movie anymore. I'm really curious to see who they're going to get to replace. But she goes on with her cucky apology. Our cultural understanding of transgender people continues to advance, and I've learned a lot from the community since making my first statement about my casting and realized it was insensitive. I have great admiration and love for the trans community and grateful that the conversation regarding inclusivity in Hollywood continues. So it's like, she sounds like she's held up hostage or something, right? Like, please, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Just know I'll do better next time, and I'll never step out of line once again. It's like, it's weird because it's such a small group of people. If you think about it, like, this can't be that many movie watchers that are trans, but she obviously thinks that the culture is kind of heading that way, and to some degrees it is, but there's a lot of people that are just silent about a lot of what's going on because yeah, people are afraid to speak out. They're afraid to say, like, yeah, I don't really like to see my kids being taught by trannies and shit. I don't really like to watch a bunch of movies with confused mentally ill people and shit. Like, people are afraid oftentimes to speak up. So your silence is emboldening a lot of the times the very loud minority that's like, we all believe this, we all agree with this, how could you be against the times, we're moving backwards, you need to hire only trans and trans roles, only this and this role, and we can diversify and play all these other characters too, but you can't, you can only play what you are, and unless it's like a mythical creature or something like that, something that doesn't exist. Other than that, you can play your race, your own gender. From now on, I guess in Hollywood, straight people can't play gay people anymore. Like, it's just not allowed. So that's just gonna, like, reduce the pool of actors that you can choose from, and you're gonna get, like, less qualified, shittier actors a lot of the times, or the movie's just not gonna make as much money because a lot of people, they don't want to see it if it's a no name. I'm sorry to say, that's just how shit works out. But she goes on, while I would have loved the opportunity to bring Dante's story and transition to life, I understand why many feel he should be portrayed by a transgender person. See, it's like, he. I am thankful that this casting debate, albeit controversial, has sparked a larger conversation about diversity and representation in film. So once again, diversity, just less white people. That's what it means with diversity. I've seen pictures where like, this is so diverse, and it's just like a group of like Asians or black people that are all the same race. I'm like, that's not diverse, but clearly you know what they mean when they say it. And then I believe that all artists should be considered equally and fairly, which a lot of them are, but they're considering money. My production company, These Pictures, actively pursue projects that both entertain and push boundaries. We look forward to working with every community to bring these poignant and important stories to audiences worldwide. So, is it really an important story about a gang banger that was a tranny back in the day? Do we even know if she really was a tranny? Maybe she was just pretending to be a dude. Maybe she was just pretending so she could, be in the drug trade. I don't know the story that well. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But, it's stupid. This whole thing, I think, is just a test to see what they can get away with, how much outrage that they can muster, and how much people like this can take of it before they cave, right? And the more you cave, the more power you give to these people. Like, another example, there was that guy from Superman who said about the Me Too movement, he's like, I'm just kind of afraid to approach women now because I'm afraid I'm going to be accused of rape or something. He was speaking honestly, right? Which is true. A lot of men do feel that way. And he got, it was a backlash to that, hounded down. He came out the next day, apologized. 'Cause, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you guys. This. So it's like, every time you cuck like this, especially when you're saying something that is legitimate, you are just you're just giving these people more power. You're making the mob stronger, and you're emboldening them to do it again the next time. That's why it's just, we're just gonna say like, fuck you, go to hell. I'm gonna play a trans man if I want to. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you can go fuck yourself, because until people start doing that, they will never stop. These are bullies, right? And bullies do not stop until you stand up to them. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya. And sorry again about the